Hello everyone, this is Stephanie from Little Steffi Big World, and this is a process video of my Portugal 2019 scrapbook travel album. I've selected a few pages that I want to show you really quickly how I'm putting them together very fast. I'm using a ton of travel memorabilia that I collected on this 17-day trip, and I have over 100 pictures in this album. It's about 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters, the album, so that's like 10 inches by 10 inches. And I have a separate video on how I'm preparing this album because I'm using so much travel memorabilia. I'm actually planning each of these 62 pages, so there's a complete separate video on this. You can find a link in the video description below on my channel. So yeah, so I'm using a lot of travel memorabilia and pictures and just a few additional supplies. Like you can see on the left side, I'm using washi tape and stickers. I'm actually using a lot of washi tape to make borders around everything. But I'm not using any papers like scrapbook papers. So in this case, I'm cutting down this bag that I brought back with me, where we had some like bread and stuff in it. So I'm cutting that out, using it as a background. I'm fussy cutting around this image to put it on the page as well. So there's also the picture, a business card, tea bags, sugar bags, and these Lisboa and Natalie things, you know, that got stitched in this shop. I use them as my titles. On this page, I'm using a map as a background. I do this a lot during this album. I love maps, so I'm collecting so many maps, and I'm cutting it out in a way like you can say where we've been, or that this piece of the map is accommodating that pictures. Now, because I'm using two pictures and this Lisboa thing and a piece of paper cut, the paper cup where I had my tea in it, you can't really see a lot of the map, but it's still, you know, really nice in the background. So I'm gluing this down and then putting the washi tape around. Like I said, I do this on almost all the pages. I'm using the washi tape. I have tons of different washi tapes as borders. In this case, I'm putting it on top of the map so you can really see it, but sometimes I put it in the background and then you hardly see it. So you don't really need a lot of washi tapes, or you don't need a lot of different washi tapes for this effect. Or if you have scrapbook paper, you can use that. On this page, for example, I'm not using anything big as a background, so I have these different napkins that I took from the cafe where we had some pastries, tea and coffee in the morning. So I'm also using this little piece of breakfast from our hotel where we stayed, but we didn't have breakfast there. So I just took that image of, you know, a breakfast to show that this is about the breakfast that we had on that day. Now here I have a big map of the University of Coimbra, but I don't want to clip it in. I'm just making sure that if I glue it in, you can still open it easily. So I'm gluing down that first picture and the map, and then I'm opening it up to glue in the second picture. So you have to open the map, then you can see that second picture. So I also have the ticket, so I'm doing a flip with washi tape. This particular washi tape isn't too sticky, so I have to use the glue to, you know, make it stick. And behind that flip there is a little bit of space left, so I'm using that for my journaling. I have a travel journal of my trip, and it's very detailed, so I'm using that to help me remember, okay, what was it about, what did we do. There's a whole video about that as well. On this page, again, there is washi tape as a border, and then I'm gluing down these two pictures from the Fado concert that we visited, and I'm gluing down one of the tickets there. But the second ticket is a flip, and also this like postcard is a flip. So I have two flips on this page, and under the second one I have some space for journaling again, so I can use the space like this. This is a little bit more special because I really took the packaging of the salmon with me. You know, it was my birthday, so we bought some salmon, and I just kept this, and the whole of this is the right size, the perfect size for a picture. So I'm putting some washi tape around, and then I'm marking where the picture should go. So when I'm gluing it down, it should be in the right position, and then I'm gluing everything else down. I used a lot of glue in this album because this craft paper, if you use like thicker paper that you want to glue on craft paper, you need a little bit more glue. If you are using just something thin, like thin paper, you don't need that much. Now I'm doing here a flip as well. There's a map in the background of Porto, and I had to cut out a little bit of the text so you can open it to the left and then down. So you can actually, you know, so everything is in the right position, and then I'm gluing down the two pictures so you can actually see the part of the map of the train station that you can see on the pictures. Now here I'm using parts of another map of Porto as embellishments on the side. You can't see it, but as I said, I use washi tape in the background there, but you really don't see it. Somewhere in Porto I picked up a free Portuguese a newspaper. So because on this side, for this page, I don't have a lot of memorabilia. I have a business card, I have some few pieces of a wine bottle and from the chopsticks, and that one picture. So I'm framing with washi tape and then gluing down that piece of the newspaper to fill the page. Because I'm normally not a big writer, I struggle with journaling actually. And because I have a very extensive journal this time from our travel, I wrote so much in it, I decided to not write too much in the scrapbook itself. So I'm using the stencils to write the titles. It's saying Real Chinese Dinner. And then I'm putting some stickers here and a heart sticker as well. And yeah, and that's it. I leave the page as it is. I struggled a bit with this page because I don't have a picture of our train journey. But I still wanted to use the ticket from our train, and also the tickets from the metro. In Lisbon, when we went back from Porto to Lisbon. So everything is green. I'm using green washi tape as well. I'm struggling to make this fit. I normally don't use any like receipts because the print will fade away after a while. So that's why I'm gluing the tickets down the other way so you can see the back of it. Now this is memorabilia where I'm glad I was able to take off this priority piece, you know, your luggage tag, sometimes destroying it. We had like 3 of these priority flags, let's say, and just one of them was, you know, not completely damaged. So I'm using also luggage tags, parts of that. And these fishes, you know, these are from the title page of the In-Flight magazine. And our daughter was always reading the magazine and going through it and always going back to the cover and saying fish, fish. So I'm putting this there. It makes sense to no one else except my husband and me. So I'm putting this there just for our memory. Now I'm sorry I will move this book up in a bit so you can see it. This is at the very end, like this is the last page from the inside of the book, and scrapbooking is a messy business. It is stuff all over your desk and even on the floor and like everywhere. So on this last page I decided to do like a little collage of things that I had left over. I'm using a map in the background again because I had so many maps left over, and from this newspaper and napkins and from flyers. There's also a piece of this diamond box at the bottom. I'm putting in another postcard because we stayed over Christmas and New Year's in Portugal. We got a postcard for Merry Christmas, you know, from one of our accommodations, and just anything I had, like cutouts from a magazine, a sugar bag, and then from the hotel where we got some coffee and tea, so a happy warm welcome. So I'm making a little banner and putting that down there as well. So the last thing I do, and I'm recommending this in my step-by-step videos for scrapbooking, is to do the cover last, like really absolutely last. So here I'm using 4 different maps from Lisbon, Coimbra, Porto and Guimaeres. I don't have a map of Braga. I would have loved to put that in as well, because these were the 5 cities we visited. So I'm putting them to size. I'm putting 4 stripes. I'm cutting them to size so they fit on the cover. And it looks really nice, just 4 totally different maps. And I have this Coke postcard that we bought in Coimbra, so that's gonna be the title. I'm not using a picture here. I just felt like, yeah, cork is so important to Portugal, and also on my other Portugal album, because we've been to Portugal before. I use a cork map as well, but from Lisbon. So I thought that that would be nice. So I'm also cutting or ripping part of the newspaper, and I'm inking the edges with the blank ink pad. I'm just using the ink pad by itself, just, you know, giving it a little bit of a rusty feeling, and that's the background of it. I'm using some washi tape in behind in the left upper corner and in the lower right corner, just in behind that newspaper pitch, sorry. And then I'm gluing everything down, putting some stickers there and the dates we went. So yeah, that's the process video. A flip through is coming to my channel soon of this album. So if you want, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, have a happy and safe travel, and scrapbook on. Bye bye.